Have you ever found yourself giving more than you should, just to feel seen? Do you know a girl who once lit up every room with her innocence, but now walks with her head low, heart distracted, and smile a little more forced? Or maybe it's you. Maybe you've already handed your heart to someone who never deserved it, and you only realized it after the damage was done. This isn't about blame. This is about the quiet ache too many Muslim girls carry alone. The ache of being torn between faith and feelings, of wanting to be good, but wanting so badly to be loved. Aliyah was 17 when it happened to her. A good girl, a careful girl, the kind who prayed 5 times a day without being told, the kind who asked deep questions at Islamic school, who had memorized half of Juz Amma by the time she was 12. Her parents were proud of her. Her teachers trusted her. But no one, not even she, realized how lonely she had become. She never said it out loud, but she felt invisible. At school, she was the religious one, the one with the long sleeves and the thick books. She watched other girls get compliments, get noticed, get asked out. She never wanted to be like them. Not really, but a part of her ached to feel what they felt, wanted. That's when Amar noticed her. He was smart, laid back, always joking, always charming. He wasn't like the others, he wasn't loud or crude, he was kind. And when he smiled at her, when he held the door for her, when he said, "You're not like other girls," it lit something inside her that had never been lit before. At first, she told herself it was harmless. A few texts about homework, then funny memes, then long late-night conversations about life, parents, stress, dreams. He told her she was easy to talk to, wise beyond her years, that she made him feel calm. She blushed when she read his words, felt her pulse quicken when she saw his name on her screen. She never told her parents. She didn't dare. She convinced herself it wasn't haram. They weren't touching. They weren't dating. Just talking, just caring. But with every message, she felt her grip on herself loosen. She started missing prayers. Not because she didn't care, but because her thoughts were somewhere else. Her Quran sat unopened for days. Her heart, once anchored in dhikr, now beat in tune with his attention. And then, just like that, it shifted. He stopped replying as quickly. He sounded distracted, distant. One day, he told her, "I've been thinking, you're a great girl, but I don't think we're on the same page. I need someone more open, less intense." She didn't cry in front of him. She smiled politely, said, "I understand." But when she got home, she locked herself in the bathroom and broke down. She wasn't just crying over him. She was crying over herself, over how far she had fallen from who she thought she was, over how she had handed over her softness, her secrets, her trust, to someone who didn't even believe in what she built her life around. That night, in the dark of her room, she stood in prayer for the first time in weeks. She didn't have words, just tears, silent, hot tears on her prayer rug. And somehow, in that sujood, she felt a whisper in her soul. "You left me for a boy who walked away, but I never left you." Aliyah's journey back wasn't dramatic. It was slow, quiet, full of small steps, one prayer at a time, one ayah at a time, one act of forgiveness toward herself each morning. She confided in her older cousin, who told her gently, "Your heart is not broken, it's just being redirected." Today, Aliyah doesn't hate Amar. She doesn't hate herself either. She understands now that she wasn't foolish, just human, just a young girl looking for love in a world that twists love into something shallow and selfish. But she's wiser now, stronger, and most of all, she's back with the one who loved her first and never stopped. Now, let's turn to Nadia's story, a working woman who found herself caught between career success and the emptiness of haram love. Nadia was 27, living in a bustling city far from the warmth of her family home. She had a job as a project coordinator, a career she had worked hard for, but something felt missing beneath the surface. On the outside, she was successful, dressed professionally, and appeared confident, but inside, there was a quiet loneliness that no promotion or praise could fill. Her faith remained a part of her life. She fasted during Ramadan and prayed occasionally, yet her heart had grown numb. The daily grind left little room for spiritual connection, and the vibrant faith she once held seemed like a distant memory. Then Imran came into her life. He was older, a department lead at her office, with a calm confidence that caught her off guard. Imran noticed things others overlooked, the way she stayed late to finish reports, the subtle exhaustion hidden behind her smile. He offered her kindness and attention, and she found herself drawn to his steady presence. Their conversations began at work, but soon spilled over into messages late at night. Imran wasn't religious, but he spoke respectfully and never mocked her faith. He complimented her strength and intelligence, calling her grounded and different. Nadia felt seen in a way she hadn't before. The warmth of his words thawed the cold loneliness she'd carried for so long. She told herself their connection was innocent. No physical boundaries crossed, just emotional support. But gradually, her prayers became infrequent, her Quran unread. Her world revolved around Imran's approval and attention. She knew deep down that something was wrong, but the void he filled seemed too vast to ignore. Then, without warning, Imran announced he was moving abroad for a new job. The news hit Nadia like a blow. She tried to hide her hurt, telling herself she understood. But alone on her prayer mat that night, tears streaming down her face, she realized she had lost more than a colleague. She had lost her spiritual compass. Ya Allah, she whispered through her sobs. I gave pieces of myself away to someone who didn't deserve them. Help me find my way back. It wasn't easy. Nadia struggled with shame and confusion, afraid to tell her family what had happened. But eventually, she joined a local halakha and shared her story with close friends and relatives. Their support helped her reconnect with her faith and rebuild her self-worth. She learned that true love is rooted in respect, boundaries, and the light of Allah's guidance. Nadia now prays daily, holds her Quran close, and guards her heart fiercely, not out of fear, but out of newfound self-respect. She understands now that the emptiness she once tried to fill with a man's attention could only be healed by the one who created her. Now we turn to Zainab's story, a young university student whose search for belonging led her into a painful trap. Zainab was 19, full of hope and excitement as she began her university journey. Coming from a close-knit family, she had always been a bright student and a devoted daughter. Yet, beneath her smile was a deep desire to find acceptance, to be understood beyond the walls of her home and the expectations placed upon her. At university, the world felt vast and intimidating. She joined study groups and clubs, but often felt like an outsider. In classes, She noticed how some students flirted openly, how relationships seemed effortless for others. Zainab, raised with strong Islamic values, tried to keep her boundaries, but the ache for connection grew heavier. It was in a casual conversation at the campus library that she met Yusuf. He was charming, articulate, and seemed genuinely interested in her thoughts and dreams. Unlike others, he didn't pressure her or mock her faith. He listened, really listened. For the first time in months, Zainab felt seen and valued. Their friendship deepened quickly, blossoming into secret late-night chats and stolen moments between classes. Yusuf promised he respected her values, swore he wanted only what was best for her. But over time, the boundaries blurred. He asked for more time, more attention, more emotional intimacy, even though they both knew this was haram. Zainab struggled with guilt and confusion. She loved her faith but craved his approval. She convinced herself that what they shared was different, that love, even if forbidden, could be special. Then came the turning point. Yusuf's attitude changed. He grew distant, cold, demanding. When Zainab tried to express her feelings, he accused her of being too religious and not fun. She was devastated, feeling used and abandoned. Her grades slipped, her prayers stopped. She withdrew from friends and family, overwhelmed by shame and loneliness. But slowly, Zainab found her way back. A trusted professor noticed her pain and encouraged her to seek support from the campus Islamic Society. She joined a support group where she heard stories like hers and realized she wasn't alone. Through counseling, prayer, and the strength of her community, Zainab rediscovered her self-worth, not as someone defined by a man's acceptance, but as a beloved servant of Allah. She now speaks openly about her experience, warning others about the dangers of haram relationships and the importance of grounding oneself in deen before seeking human love. Mariam was 24 and always loved connecting online. Social media was her window to the world, a place where she could express herself, share her thoughts, and make friends beyond the small town she grew up in. She was careful with her faith, but like many young women, she craved companionship, someone who truly understood her. One evening, while scrolling through her messages, she received a friend request from someone named Adam. He seemed genuine, thoughtful comments, shared interests, and a way of making her feel special with just a few words. At first, their chats were innocent, discussing books, movies, and dreams. But slowly, Adam began to ask personal questions, probing her vulnerabilities. He told her he understood her struggles, praised her for being strong yet sensitive. Mariam's heart softened. She felt seen in a way she hadn't before, and before she knew it, the conversations turned deeper. Late-night talks, exchanging photos, secret whispers about a future together. Adam promised love, attention, and escape from the loneliness she felt in real life. But what Mariam didn't see was the mask behind those words. Adam was controlling. He isolated her from friends, criticized her hijab, and demanded proof of her loyalty. When Mariam hesitated, he would guilt-trip her, making her feel like she was the one failing him. For months, Mariam lived trapped between fear and hope, believing she was loved when she was being used. Her faith weakened, her self-esteem shattered. She felt lost. One day, after a particularly harsh argument, Mariam confided in a sister from her mosque. That sister listened without judgment and helped Mariam understand the patterns of manipulation she was trapped in. With support, Maryam blocked Adam and sought counseling. She returned to her prayers and reconnected with her community. The road to healing was long, but with every step, she rebuilt her self-worth on the foundation of Allah's unconditional love. Maryam's story is a powerful reminder. Predators often target those who feel invisible or unvalued, but no online promise can replace the worth that comes from faith, family, and self-respect. These stories show how many young Muslim women fall into haram love because they seek value and love they don't fully find within themselves or at home. Predators prey on feelings of loneliness and low self-worth, offering false attention that hurts more than helps. The key to protection starts at home, when parents and communities teach daughters their true worth as beloved creations of Allah. Raising girls with respect, faith, and confidence helps them guard their hearts and seek lasting love from Allah alone. If you liked what we have shared, then please like, share, and subscribe.